Senator Turner and Representative Clyde for being champions of voter rights in the state and for all you're doing to keep these issues in the forefront. Pleased to be with you here today, and pleased to be part of offering a constructive set of suggestions to make sure it's truly easy to vote in Ohio. We offer these in good faith. I have an honest belief that they will make our state better and our democracy healthier. The trend since the civil rights era has been to expand voting, and we need to continue that. There are a number of other improvements that can and must be made. Ohio continues to be out of compliance with state and federal law on voter registrations at the BMV. We have very low, below average numbers of motor voter registrations, and we are leaving hundreds of thousands of BMV online customers off the voter list. Making a list of voters should not be controversial, and we should be taking advantage of every opportunity to make sure people are ready to vote by getting them registered. Secretary Husted and BMV officials need to investigate this non-compliance and fix it. California just had to mail registration forms to about 4 million people because of non-compliance with the motor voter law. These problems are a lot more expensive to repair than to prevent. Outreach. Outreach by the Secretary's office to voters of all ages and political persuasions is severely lacking right now. For example, the Secretary has signed a settlement agreement with True the Vote, pledging to proactively do outreach to college students and encourage their use of the online registration system. But there is no evidence that such outreach is going on if one takes a look at the Secretary's website. In addition, emails were revealed in the national publication last week showing that his office targets a long list of right-leaning groups for outreach while making only passing mention of the minority groups. They even discussed sending a voting information piece to only Republicans in the legislature, leaving out Democrats. When our constituents will be the hardest hit by the numerous voting law changes. A comprehensive voter outreach and education plan is needed. Ballots and votes are going uncounted because of unfair directives, ignoring the Civil Rights Act, and badly designed forms. These things can be fixed, and more ballots can be counted. I have confidence that the office can turn these problems around and make it easier for Ohioans to vote. I now want to introduce House Minority Leader Hurd to conclude our remarks. Leader Hurd.
Thank you, Senator. I'm here just to bring up the Amen corner here today. Obviously, I've been involved in this conversation for some years, having introduced House Bill 260 during the 128th General Assembly, and I'm really proud that my colleagues on my side of the aisle have continued to realize how important this issue is and address the unacceptable voter suppression activity that we've been receiving from the GOP. And I'm really proud of the leadership from my caucus through Representative Clyde and also through Senator Nina Turner and her leadership on this. I'm really proud to stand here and offer positive suggestions to the badly needed improvements in Ohio's elections. It is shameful that we are still throwing out 47,000 voter ballots in an election. It is shameful that we continue to cut hours and days for early voting that people rely on, especially minority voters in communities like mine. After all the work that has gone on in this State House, all the working groups that have met, again, like around House Bill 260, for example, a bipartisan effort, in spite of everything that we know and all of the solutions that are sitting ready to be implemented, all of the recommendations that you heard today that are simply a literal flip of the switch. Ohio just is not doing a good enough job of clearing the path to the ballot and counting people's ballots once they cast them. There are a number of other suggestions on our checklist in addition to the ones that my colleagues have actually mentioned today. We'll be sending the checklist to the Secretary of State's office and asking him to make these improvements immediately. If the items on this checklist are completed, Ohio will be in a much better place to have a successful election season this fall. If these items are not completed, then we're going to see the same problems, the same disrespect for our voters and their ballots all over again. At this time, we're ready to take any questions you may have.